Hello, my name is Petit Pois, and welcome to the Canva to Astro 4 course. This comprehensive course will take you from beginning to end of converting a Canva template to an Astro 4 website. Hope you like and subscribe for more tutorial videos, and please enjoy.
Okay, so we're going to look at Canva, look at the website templates, and we're going to choose the free templates. And we're going to look at different inspiring designs so that we can take it and convert it into an actual Astro template. And we're going to look at mainly landing pages, so we'll change it to landing pages. And we see that it's broken it down. And what else do we want to do? I was thinking that we could focus on, seeing as though it's the beginning of the year, maybe we could look at fitness and see what that gets us. This looks like nice. Here is a nice looking template. What we're going to do, we are going to take the elements of these and we are going to create this website using Astro. So let's dissect this template. As you can see, we have a huge hero section here with the logo at the top left and the hero image with a call to action right at the beginning. So, and then a button down there. So that's the first section we would have to address. The second section would be a little bit of teaser, a couple of images about the company or the studio, and a link to learn more. We've got a nice different section here with a little paragraph, and you can see the font is quite big and bold. They're using lovely color styles here. Moving further down, we've got the usual token card section where you've what the company is offering. In this case, the fitness studio, touring the gym, checking out group classes, and asking about personal training. So that'll be another section. And then we've also got now a testimonial for all the customers, and a couple of quotes with their name, their image. So that's something we have to look at. And finally, we've got another call to action, getting in touch with the mailing address and the email address and the phone number. So that's the footer section. So what we're going to do, we're going to attack each section, and then we're going to take out all the color scheme and everything and the photos, and then we're going to start going to Astro. Okay, so now we are going to look at Astro documentation and how to start creating a website using the Astro framework. Obviously, you're going to need to have Node.js installed, and we're going to be using Visual Studio Code to create the website. This is the astro.build website. As you can see, we have the showcase, resources, blog. I recommend looking into these in detail because we're not going to cover every aspect of this. We're just going to use the basics to create our website, and the idea is to create different sections that will be components that we will use, and these components will be basically what we looked at earlier with the hero sections, the testimonial sections, etc. we'll also look into how to use images and layouts and kind of make the website kind of reusable so that you could change the company if you were it's something to have as a kind of website template, and we will be looking at that too. If you want any other additions to this website, please let me know in the comments. And okay, let's get to it. Okay, so let's start by opening Visual Studio Code, and we will go to the folder where we want to create our project. So after opening Visual Studio Code and creating the folder, we want to open the terminal. So the terminal will allow us to run our npm command. So it's npm create Astro at latest, and that will start by creating our Astro project. And following the prompts, we want to, I'm just gonna make it a little bit easier. Okay, so press yes, and it will start installing, and it will download everything it needs to create the Astro project. And we were going to name the project Fitness Astro Landing, if I can spell. Fitness, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Oh, there's no double N's in fitness. Okay, so we've got Fitness Astro Landing. Okay, and we're going to include the sample files that will give us a bit more of a boilerplate code that we can kind of use and follow and edit to fit our needs. I'm not going to initialize the Git repository. You can. We are going to be using TypeScript. So yeah. Okay. So I'm going to pause the video here, and when we come back, we can do the next part, which will be adding the Tailwind. So now let's look at the documentation as to how to install Tailwind. Under there, add integrations on the document under the documentation. If we look at installation, we need to run npx astro add Tailwind. And the reason why we're going to add Tailwind is going to make it a lot easier in order to style the components that we've seen in the template. So npx astro add Tailwind, we will copy that, and we will go back into our first of all, we will cd into the folder. So it was Fitness Astro Landing. If you chose a shorter title, that would probably have been better. And we're going to paste that command, and we will have added Tailwind. And once that is complete, we can start looking into creating our first component, and looking at the folder structure, and creating the website. So now that we've added Tailwind CSS, we will take a look at the folder structure. And we've got components, layouts, and pages. Now the components is what we will be making for each section of the landing page. And here you have an example of the title, body, and link is actually customizable in the front end, and also the styles of the card, the local styles, only applies to this component. And under the layouts, we have the layout section. This is it's going to be obviously on every page. We can edit only the title, So we could also, we're going to change this to also add the content description. And as you can see here, you've got the slot, and that is where pages comes in. And the index.astro, everything in this file will be injected into this area here. So let's go back into index.astro, and as we can see, we're importing the layout and the card. And here we changed in the title, we changed it Welcome to Fitness instead of Welcome to Astro. And we have a logo here, and this is basic HTML, so we again change it to Fitness instead of Astro, just to see what this will look like. So then we will run npm run dev, and we will open localhost 4321. So here we are in the browser, localhost 4321. This is running locally, and as you can see, there's a faded logo at the back there, and we've got Welcome to Fitness. This is styled in the boilerplate styles, and we've already kind of completed this code challenge. Welcome to Astro, changed it to Welcome to Fitness. As you can see, the cards, each card in the bottom left, you can see that the link is different, and we will be learning how to do something similar with the template that we've decided to use. So now we're going to go back and start coding out our components to make our landing page. Okay, so now let's create our own first component. We'll look at the hero component. So we'll right click on components and create a new file, and we're going to call it hero.astro. And this will refer to the hero section at the top of our screen, and we will create our front matter, and we're going to need, if we look at the card.astro, we're going to need interface props. So we hit interface props. And we're going to need a call to action, which will be the text in the middle, which will be a string. And we're going to need we're going to need button text for the button that's going to be in our header, and we will also need the logo image. That will also be a string. So we'll save that, and we will deconstruct it by saying const call to action button text and logo image equals astro.props. Okay, so now we can start looking at what we will do. So we will be doing all of this in a header component using the HTML5 syntax, and here we go, and we will use a div, and we will have in Astro it's just a single curly braces, and we will put call to action. Whatever is written in the call to action is what we will say. So if we put a default here, we will say sign up today, and the button text will be sign or join today. and the logo image will be logo.png. We will learn how to use all of these, or we can actually going to change the call to action to fitness at your pace, something like that. And instead of the call to action here, we'll wrap that in a H1. We'll put that here, and we will add a button, and the text in the middle will be the button text. Now, in order to see this in action, obviously we haven't styled anything yet, and we are not bringing in the image yet, so we will do that. We'll do that later. So what I will do for now, I will comment that out and remove that from the props so that it doesn't give us any errors. There we go. Okay, so we'll save that and we'll go back to the index page, and at the top here, instead of importing the card, we'll change card to hero. And obviously it will go to the hero.astro, and we will take these cards away. We'll take away this UL, or unordered list. Actually, we will get rid of everything here apart from the main tag, and we will simply import hero. And what did we call it? Call to action. As you see, it will come up here. What was our default text? So our default was fitness at your pace. So that's what we will do. We'll put fitness at your pace. And the other one was the button text, which was joined today. So button text equals join today. Now, if you wanted this to be, these things to be optional in the hero section, in the hero.astro component, you could put a question mark so that it wouldn't give you any trouble. So we're not going to do that, and we're going to remove all of the defaults here, and we will make a comment. There we go. Okay, we'll make a comment in the index file saying add call to action and button text. Okay, that will remind us that we have to add that to this section. So let's see the result. So this is the result. Obviously we have the join today, which is a button. That's why you're getting the hand going. Now, we didn't remove all of the styling that was in the local index.astro file. That's why it looks this way. So let's go back and get rid of all the styles that are here, and then we will resave it and take a look now. We refresh, can see, we can barely see it because we also need to change the layout file. So if we go to the layout file and remove the styling there, and there we should be able to now see everything. So now we will move on to styling this header. Okay, so we want to make sure that we use the right colors for our hero. So as you can see, we've got this beautiful yellow color here. So what we will do, we will take a look at the hexagon value of this, and we will take note of it. We will copy that, and we will basically style the buttons so that they will look, they will have the same color. We will also use Astro icons and see if we can recreate something similar to this, or use a different icon altogether, or we could use a PNG file. For the photos, what we will do, we will see if we can find the same photo on Unsplash. So we will go to Unsplash and we will see if we can find a fitness image that is commercially available to use. So we will search for fitness, and then we will change the license to free. So we got license all. Let's take a look. And we will change this to free. Or we could just keep looking. Oh, there it is. We can keep looking down, and we will basically download this into our public folder, and we will create a images folder under that folder, and we will place this image there. So now that I've added a images folder under the public folder, I've downloaded some other images too from Unsplash for the instructor section and the ropes section, and I've also downloaded the other image that we were just talking about, the hero image. And what we will do, we will create a use the background in the header component. So in order to do that, we will add a class. We will do background cover, background no repeat, background URL, and we will put in the URL. Astro will read everything in the images folder, so we'll say images hero dash fitness dash image.jpg, and we will add a way to darken the image so that what's in front will be accentuated. So we'll add a background, and then we will blend or add the multiply to make it a little bit darker. And let's take a look at what that has done. So if we go to this file, we will see we have made a little bit of the image there. You can see it at the top there. So let's style it out a little bit more. If we go back, and we will add another class here on the div, and we will say, we'll give it padding on the x-axis of 4, auto margins, max width, screen, we'll give it extra large, we'll center the text, and we'll make the Y on the padding 12. We'll change everything in this div that's a text to white. Okay, so now we have that. Let's again take a look. At the Astro file. Okay, looks like we're getting a little bit closer. So now what we will do, maybe we will adjust the padding Y to just a little bit more. Maybe we'll double that to 24. Let's see what that will do. You notice that the top here says the Asterisk Gym, which is the name of the template we have there. As you can see, we're getting closer. Let's go even more. Let's go 56, and we'll take a look again. Actually 56. Let's change it back again. Let's just take a look again and see. Let's see. There we go. There you go. That's awesome. So now we can start styling the other areas, and what we will do, we'll open another div tag for the call to action and button section. There we go. So, and we will give that div a class of text center. Might not be necessary, but we will add it anyway. And next we will change the H1 and add a class to it. And this will be font extra bold. Text is going to be quite big, so we're going to go for 9XL. And the tracking, is going to be tracking wide, and it's going to be uppercase, and the margin bottom is going to be 4. And let's see what that looks like. We'll actually move this uppercase to here so that everything in this div will be uppercase. And yes. So while we're waiting for that to load, let's take a look again. Okay. And now we also forgot to add an area for the logo and the name of the gym. So just above the, I would say, hero area, we're going to add a nav element to the page, and we're going to add an unordered list. And we're just going to put the name of the gym here for now, and later we will add the logo. So the name of the gym was Astro gym, and what we will do, we will make sure that the nav component has a class so that we can see the text. So it's going to be text white, again uppercase. We're going to add some padding to the top and also some padding all around, and I think that's it. So we should have something that looks very similar to the design, apart from obviously the button. So let's take a look. Let's take a look, shall we? There we go. I think I've spelled this area wrong, but this is kind of looking good. We have the hero image. Maybe it's a little bit too big, so we will change the padding Y, and obviously I will change the typo there. And we've got the be your best. We will change let's take a look and change the button, and after that we will have done our hero section. So let's go back, and the button, we are going to add a class. Now remember, we copied the actual hex color of the yellow that is in the design file, and we're going to add a padding of 2. Obviously we don't need to add the uppercase because it should be there, but we are going to change the text from white to black and give it some weight. So we will wait for this to load up, and change this as well
to make it a little bit more readable. Obviously you can even add this here as a prop. You could say company name and put it as a string. And then obviously whenever you do that, it's always good to deconstruct it as well. And instead of Astreus Gym here, you can cut that and put company name. You can save that, and we will have to go into the index.astro file, and we will need to add that. We need to add company name, and that will be this. And we will also change the text here. So call to action, company name, and button text. Okay. So the hero section should be completed now. So let's take a look. So I decided to actually get rid of the div that was there and add the uppercase in the H1 and the button here. And let's take a look at the result. In the there we go. There we are. So we see that we have the hero image, and we have the call to action, and the button has the join today and the right color for the image, and up here we have the logo or company name, which we will change to bold. And let's go back to that. So we will change that back to bold, and later on we will actually add Astro icons or an image. I will show you how to add an image here for the company name. So now the hero section is complete, and we can move on to the about section. Okay, so now that we have the hero section done, we're going to move on to the next section here, which is the about section. And we see we've got this dark background and these two images and this paragraph with a beautiful title and even a link there. So the first thing we're going to do is take a look at the background color so that we stay on brand. Okay, so it's 141414. So this is what we're going to use in the template in Astro, so that we can start to create this component. So before we start, you can see that we've got the Anton font here, and even here with the hero. So let's do that to our file, and we can go to fonts.google.com, and we can search for the font,
and then add it to our family. And we'll just use to embed it, we'll just use the link. We'll just copy that. And then we will switch to our layout.astro and we will paste it right here under our icon link. We'll save that. But in order for it to be used in the file, it will add a style tag. And for now, we'll just put it on the entire body. So we say body, font, family, Anton. So now if we look at the local host, we should be able to see Anton being used. There we go. So there you go. And we will also go back to the hero section and add italics to that area. And let's do that now. Go back to the layout. And we will go to our hero section. And in the H1, we will add italic. And we'll save that and let it load up again. And this time we should see something that looks a little bit more like the template that we're using. Let's get it to load up there. Here we go. Oops, sorry, wrong section. And here we go. So this is the full, looks exactly like the Canva template we have. Alright, so now let's move on to creating the About section. Okay, so this is where we left off in the last video, and if we look back at our Canva template, we can see that although the titles are Anton, the paragraph is HK Grotesque, which I think is Hanken Grotesque. So we'll go to Google Fonts and also add that to our styles here and recopy that and add that into our index file and layout file. So let's do that. And okay. So let's take a look at what we did. Let's go to our layout file. So we've added that, and what we're going to do, we're going to make these global styles here. So the style is global, so this will be on every part of our page or website even, but in this case it's a page, and we're just going to target the H1 and the LI, which is the list item in the header with the company name. So that's going to be Anton, and we're going to also add, it does tell us to add sans serif as well. Oops, sans serif as a backup. And we're going to target the P tag, so we can always come back and add more styles. I was thinking even the yellow color that we have everywhere we could put here. That way we could just write yellow and it will know which yellow we are talking about. Let's do the same, sans serif. Actually, you know, let's do that now. If we go to, let's go to the hero, because that's the only one we've done so far. This color scheme here,
There we are. What we can do, we can go to the layout file and we can call it yellow. And this can be, or actually we'll call it yellow background or BG, and we'll say background dash color, and we'll paste that in there. And then we'll do another one for text, so we'll say yellow text and we'll just say color. There we go. So now we go back into our hero, and instead of doing BG and this, we'll remove that completely and we'll just say yellow BG. Okay, so now we will create our hero section. So we'll close all of this down and let's create our about section. So under components, we'll create a new file. Here we go again. And this one is going to be about.astro. Okay, so when we looked at the template, we saw that it was just a title, a heading, a paragraph, and a link. So the only thing we're going to need is a link, customizable link. So what we'll do the interface props, and we will put a link text. We'll make that editable in the template. And we will say, or deconstruct it, astro.props. Excellent. So now we have what we want. So we're going to create our section. Now we remember we had the background color, we're going to do this here first, and then we can always modify it later. And the color scheme was 141414, right? And we're going to give it I'm going to close it. Okay, we're going to give it a padding Y on the y-axis of 12. So give it a nice little area to work with. And we had two sections, so we're going to make a grid. So we're going to do a div, and we're going to give it a class of grid, and we're just going to make it 2-column grid. Oops. Make sure it's in quotes, grid, and the grid columns is going to be 2, and we're going to give it a padding 4. There we go. And then we're going to put our heading, and we know it's going to be in the Anton font now. And it said about our fit family, and we're going to make sure that the text is white. So we're going to give the heading a class of white, and we're also going to make the text quite big, so 5XL, and we're going to make it italic, and we're going to give it a max width of small as well. So that's the first div. Oh, actually I need to wrap that in another div, sorry. Put a div here. That should be the first div. So let's take all of that out. that inside these div tags here. There we go. That's our first div, and then the other side was some images. Now, as you can see on the side here, I've got added a gym boxer and a gym instructor. We got those from Unsplash, and what we will do, we will make a, oh, before we do that, let me go back to make the paragraph, which will also need to be text white. And we know that this is going to be that new font from our global styles. And this said that Astro was founded in 2001 by a husband and wife team. And we're just going to stop there for now, just to have some content there. And next we will also add the link. So we will also add the link here. So this is an A tag. The href is going to be our link text. Whatever we put in our link text will be our href, or our link. And we will we'll add a class to it later, and we will put our we will actually put learn more. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, so learn more, and we will actually wrap this in another p tag, and we will take that and paste it inside the paragraph tag, and we'll give this paragraph tag a class, and we'll make sure that it is text white. We could add this to our global styles as well, but it's good to have everything kind of in line. That's what I love about Tailwind. We'll add a margin top of 8, and we'll give it the underline, which it is like in the template. So that's our learn more. So that's our first column, as they say. So let's format the document. I think it uses prettier or something similar. So now, just before the closing div tag, we'll add another div tag, and this time we need another grid. So we'll give a class equals, again, another, we had 2 images, so grid with a grid columns of 2, because it was 2 columns, oops, 2. And what we will do, we will put our first image. So it was the image. This time we'll use an image tag, and we'll put the source. And what we could do is we could put we could change the image source. So we could say at the top, we can say image 1, give it a string, and in the deconstruction we can say image 1 is going to be the we're going to use the gym instructor.png, sorry, JPG, very different. And in the image source we can basically put our quote, our brackets, and say we want
the slash images slash and add a plus and put image 1. And Astro, or even any website, it's good to have an alt tag, and we can say gym instructor, and we can close that off. And what we could do as well, we could do the same thing again, but this time we can say image 2. And the reason why we could do this is we could interchange the images quickly. You can even do it from the main index page. So we'll say image 2, and we're going to use the gym-boxer.jpg. Okay, so we're going to copy this image source, paste the other one, and we're going to say boxing instructor. We're going to change that, instead of image 1, it will be image 2. Nice and easy. Okay, now remember with this image it was slightly below the first image, so we'll give it a class and it will equal we're going to give it a rounded class, medium. We're going to say object cover, and we're going to give it a width of 48, so it's not too big, and a padding top. This is going to make it separate from the other one. We're going to give it 8 for now. And on the other image, the first image, image 1, we're also going to give this one a class of rounded MD object cover, and we're going to say W48, but we're going to leave the padding top. Okay, I'm going to close that, and now we can take a look and see what the result is. Oh, before we do that, let us go to our index page, and we'll need to import it. So what's great about Visual Studio Code is if I want to import a component, I'll just say import, and if I start to type the component, it should take me, sometimes it does it automatically, sometimes it doesn't. So components slash about.astro, and here we can put in our about, and if we remember, well, what we can do, we can go back to our about, and we know it's got the squiggly lines because it wants this, it wants the image 1 and the image 2. So what we will do, we'll get rid of these, so it was gym instructor and gymboxer.jpg, and we'll write exactly that but in the other file. And we'll also add a comment. So we've got link text, which is going to go nowhere for now. We've got image 1, which is going to be gym-instructor.jpg, and we've got image 2, which is what was it? gymboxer.jpg, and we're going to save that. Okay, now let's open the terminal. In view terminal, I think I had it running, so what we'll do, we'll just Control-T-C to stop it.
sure everything is okay. And then now let's run this and see what we get. npm run dev. Okay, so this is the result we've got so far. So we can see we've got our heading here with the correct font, and even the paragraph and the little link here. We'll change the paragraph to have exactly what's in the template. And we've got these two images sourced here from the from Unsplash. So if we look here, okay, the images are different, but it was just the idea of how you can customize those images. So we'll need to do a little bit more because it needs to kind of look like the font has to be a bit bigger, has to be yellow. There's more paragraph. Actually, what we'll do, we'll copy this paragraph here. Control copy that, and then we'll go back into our template, our Astro file, and update that, and maybe even add a little bit more padding to the top so that the second image is a little bit further down. So let's do that now. Oops, let me just open that up again. There we go. So here we are in the index for Astro. So we don't need that. We need to go back into our about, and we need to copy or paste the paragraph we have. And what we will do, remember we had that yellow text as a class, so we'll do yellow text. That was a class that changes the font to yellow text. And we will also change the small to extra small, and we'll also do the same with the paragraph. We'll do the max width of small, and we'll save that, and we will go back to our we will also do a little bit of padding at the top of our paragraph. Let's put padding top of 8. And we did say we were going to put more padding top on the other image, so we'll do padding top of 12. And we will see what that does for us. So here we go. And so we see the padding top has done something over here, and that's not what we want, so we will change that back. But at least we have the font, the color that we need for our heading, and the full paragraph, and then add more. So we're kind of getting there. Oh, it's still reloading. There we go. So we've got a little bit of padding between the heading and the paragraph, and once the images load, we'll see. Yeah, okay, excellent. We've got a little bit more padding at the top there. So you can always, do what you want with the padding there. Obviously the images can change. I'm using free images from Unsplash, so there's no like copyright issues and things like that. You could get the ones from the template too. I just found it a bit difficult to do that, but that's you can find a way to do that. And yeah, so we've done our about section. So we've got a nice area here, and the about section is complete. So now we will move on to our featured section, and then the testimonials and the footer. So let's do that now. So now that we have done our hero and our about section, let's move on to the offer section. So as we can see, we've got another bold area where we have the heading and a little paragraph, and then we have these 3 cards with the text in the middle and the background being a certain color. So we'll probably go and source these from Unsplash again. So we need one with a dumbbell, one with skipping, and one about training. Now it'll probably be similar to the about section that we had, except this time we're going to need to use a little bit of both from the hero with the text being in the middle, and we'll also need to look at the background images as well. So that's what we're going to do in this tutorial. So let's get to it. So here I am on Unsplash, and I think I kind of like this one. So I will take it and download it. And because it is a free image, and I will call it dumbbells. Okay, and now we need one with a skipping rope. Gym. I mean, of course you can have, if you have your own images. We could use that one. Barely see the rope, you see, so let's see. Let's use this one. Again, it's going to be the background of a, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll use this one. Like I said, you could use whatever you want, and all the images will be available in the GitHub repo at the end of this tutorial series. So let us do that and download that. We'll save it as gym skipping. And if I remember correctly, the last one had to be training. So we could do gym training. As you can see, I've got the Creative Commons is free. I mean, just to re-emphasize that, it's good to make sure that when you're doing any of that, that you get images that you have the right to use. So we could use her, or we could use this one. This one is good too. Yeah, let's use this one. This is a rowing machine, so let's go rowing machine. And again, generally all of them are from this artist Victor, or photographer Victor Freitas. Most of the images are from him. Gym rowing. Okay, so now that we've sourced the images, let's go and make our So one of the things we want to change is to make sure that every section has this color background. So we'll remove it from here, from the about.astro, and we'll go into our layout file and we'll add it here as a section with that same background color. So nothing should change, but it'll just be easier when we do the next sections. And I've created a offers.astro in the components section, and what we'll do, we'll go to index and we'll just import it so that we can see the progress, and it's called offers from dash components slash offers.astro. There you go. Sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. And we're not going to put anything as customizable yet. We'll just make the offers first, and then we'll see what we can edit. So we'll save that, and we'll go back to the offers area, and we know that we have a heading that says what we offer and a paragraph that says we're committed to bringing you the best workout experience. So let's do that. Just put a heading, H1, sometimes it works, is what we offer, and I believe it's all uppercase, yes. So we'll give it a class, it's yellow, so we'll give it a class of yellow text, which will make it yellow, the yellow that we want. And we will say, we'll give it a text of XL. Sorry, it didn't say text, XL. And we will give it like italics. Can't remember if we actually did that already. No, we didn't. Okay. So if you didn't want to write italics every time, but this is, I think it's fine. Yellow text, so what we offer, it doesn't matter because it's going to be uppercase. And we're going to do our paragraph tag of, what did it say? We're committed. Okay, I've just copied it from the template and I'll bring it in. We're committed to bringing you great workout experience. We'll make sure that this text is white, so we'll do class text dash white. We'll save that, and let's go to the local host and see what it looks like. Actually, before we do that, let's give the section, as we have in the past, a class of padding Y12, and we'll put text center. And let's see what the result is. Just switch over so you can see what we've got here. Here we go. We got what we offer, and we're committed to bringing you the best workout experience, which is very similar to what we have here. So that's already done. So next we'll move on to making these custom card components. So I've made another component called imagecard.astro, and what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to be able to edit the text and the image URL when we bring in these cards. So we can start by creating the front matter.
or the JavaScript, or the TypeScript in this case. We make an interface with props. And what did we say? We said we wanted to be able to edit the string, the text, which is a string, and the image URL, which is also a string. And we want to deconstruct those, and we'll just give them default blank text, and we will make sure that we say Astro.props. Okay, now we're going to also create an image style, which we will use later, and we will call it background image. And this will take a URL, and we will say images. Oh, sorry, we will say this is a backtick URL, and it will be /images/ and then we want to bring in our $ and curly braces and add the image URL. Now this will serve as the background image to our cards, and we'll see how to add those later. So now we'll move on to the actual card. So we'll say it's a div, and we'll give it a class of padding Y48. The background I want it to cover. We're going to give it a margin of 8 and a background grey of 700, just to darken the image a little bit so that the text is visible. And we'll blend, BG blend multiply. And we'll also give this a style. Instead of in curly braces, we will put the Astro syntax of just a single curly brace, and we'll put image style. And obviously that will get the image URL and put it as the background of this div, whatever we put as the image URL for that. So next we want a heading 2, and we give that a class of text white, uppercase. We want it uppercase, we want it white, and text 4XL because it was pretty big in the template. We want it to be italic, and in between the H2 tags we want to put an Astro curly braces, and we'll put the text. And that is our image card complete. So next we will look at how to make the 3 cards that we need for the office page. Okay, so here we are back in the office page, and what we're going to do, we're going to need to bring in that image card component that we created. So we'll say import image card, and it's got it there automatically from Astro. Oops. Excellent. We'll use that in a moment. And now we're going to need to create an array with the offers. So we'll do a const offers equals, and here's our array. So each array is going to have an object, and we need the image URL, and we will need a offer text. So I know that I want to use the dumbbells JPEG, and it will be tour our gym. and I want to copy this and paste it another 2 times and change the image. So the second one will be rowing.jpg, and that will be check out our group classes, and the last one will be skipping, and then it says ask about personal training. So now that we have brought in our image tags and we've created an array so that we can create our images, we're going to look now at the syntax as to how to map these cards in Astro. Now we know we need this to be in a 3-column grid, so let's create that first. So we want a div with a class of grid. We're going to do grid dash calls dash 1 as the default, and then we'll make a medium of grid dash calls dash 3. This will just make it, when it's on a small screen it will be 1 column, but anything wider it will be 3 columns. So now we will create our cards, and all we have to do is map through the offers array that we created a minute ago. So opening curly braces, and we'll say offers dot map, and we will open our bracket and add a curly brace, and we will call it, oh sorry, not a curly brace, a normal brace, and we'll call it offer, and then we will put a equal sign and a greater than sign, and now we will put the brackets again, and we will add image card. Now we know that the image card needs an image URL, so instead of having the quotes we will put offer dot image URL, and the text, you guessed it, will be offer dot offer text, and this should map all of our images, and if we have made it correctly we should be able to see our section complete. So let's look at that now, and we need to make sure that if we go back to image card, I think I made a mistake here. I put these in quotes right here. We just want to take those quotes out. So we'll save that, make sure that's all good, and go back to our, let's take a look at our website. There we have it. We have tour our gym, check out our group classes, and ask about personal training cards. So if you wanted to change these into links, that was very easy to do. But now we're going to move on to the testimonial section. So this is what we want our testimonial section to look like. It's before and after, we've called it. So we're going to need a section with a heading with italic text before and after,
And then we're going to want these testimonial cards. We're not going to make a different component, but I suppose you could, or you could edit the component we had to create, update the image card component. But we're not going to do that in this tutorial. We're just going to make everything in one, in the testimonial.astro file. So let's take a look at the code. So looking again, we've got an array called testimonials, profile URL, the author, the image. I'm using ones that we already have, but obviously you can change those to match whatever you have in your public images folder. So let's create our section, again with the class, and that equals py-12. And we will close that off. And now we will look at, actually, I'm just gonna, yeah, that's good. And we're gonna have, this is H1. Class of yellow text. And we're going to add the make it text 5XL, very similar to the last one. Italic, upper case, text, center. And we want the H1 to be before and after. Okay. Now the reason why we're putting the text center and the heading tag instead of the section is because we don't want the testimonials text to be affected. So we'll save that. And we will go into our index.astro file and add the testimonials component in the top and also just under the Office tab as well. So now that we've got that done, let's take a look at what it looks like on our screen. And here we have it, before and after. On here, excellent. So now we'll start looking at our testimonial card. So just like in our previous Office tab, we want a div with a class of grid, grid columns 1, and then medium grid columns 3. So we have the 3-column layout, and now we'll do the same again. We'll map over our testimonial, and we'll actually change that to profile. There we are. Okay. So we want to create a div with a class of margin 4. So they will all look like this. And we're going to want an image source. And we'll take away the quotes and we'll put in braces this time. We want the images, we want /images/ and then we add a plus symbol and we'll put profile.profile URL. That will link to the image, and we want the alt to just be testimonial. And we want the class of object-cover. We're going to make the width full and the height of 48. And now we want the actual text. So we'll create another div and we'll give this a class of yellow BG, which is background. And we'll put a padding of 8. And inside that div, we want another paragraph tag. And we'll give this one a class of padding bottom 4 and font bold. Inside that tag, we want to put in curly braces profile.quote, and after that paragraph tag we want to put a small tag with a class, no class actually this one, and we're going to put the opening curly and closing curly braces. We want profile.author, and then we'll put a comma and put another curly braces, between curly braces, profile.age. And now we've got that div done. Let's look at the, okay, let's save this and we will take a look on the website. So here they are, these nice little cards. Oh well. Obviously you can change the images like I said. And yeah, we've got before and after, we've got the card, we've got the testimonial, got the author's name and the age. So yeah, let's continue. Okay, so this is our final section. We're going to, looking at the Canva template, we need to make this hero footer with a heading that says get in touch today, which will be editable, and the bottom will be the yellow color, yellow background, and another 3-column layout, which will make dynamic as well. So let's get to it. So first things first, I've created something called hero footer.astro, which is just blank, but we'll go to our index.astro and add it there. So we got import hero footer from components / hero footer.astro. And for now, we will add it after our testimonials. We will say hero footer. Oh, it's supposed to be all one word. Okay, so now that we're going into our hero footer, it's going to be similar to many things. The hero section we did, it's
going to be similar to the last two sections with the column layout, etc. So we'll start with the props, because the only thing we really want to change is the call to action. So we'll call it call to action, and we'll give it the type of string, and then we will deconstruct it. Call to action, and we will say it is Astro props. Okay. Next, we're going to create an image URL, kind of similar to what we did last time. And this one, I'm just going to put gym-ropes.jpg. You could use any JPEG or image in your images folder that you want. And again, we're going to do the BG style, much like how we made the offer cards. So the BG style will be equal to an object, and its background image, and we're going to say that this one with the backticks again, URL, we're going to say /images/ $ open curly braces image URL. Okay, so we've got those things ready. Now let's move on. Oh, before we do that, let's take a look at our content. I'm going to make a const of content, and this is going to be an array which is going to store all our information. So it's going to have a heading. In this case, it's going to be mailing address. It's going to have the information, and it's going to say 123 anywhere street, any city, state, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. Obviously, you can put in a real information. I'm just going to copy this and make 2 more as per usual. Okay, so we save that. The second one is, I believe it's email address, and the last one is phone number. Something is wrong in our index.astro file. Alright, so as you can see, it needs something. It needs a call to action. So the call to action, which what it needs is get in touch today. So we don't have to worry about that. So now that we're going to change this email address to hello at really great site.com, and the phone number, we're just going to add, obviously this is just dummy, but you could do 456 7890. There we go. That's all the letters on the keypad. And now that our JavaScript is complete, let's now take a look at our background for our footer. So we're going to call it footer, make it semantic, and we're going to give it a class of bg-cover. Again, very similar to the hero. bg-no-repeat and bg-gray-700 and bg-blend-multiply. And we'll also give it style, and we will put it in curly braces and say BG style. Okay, so now that we have the style, what we're going to do, we're going to add a H1 in the class, font extra bold, text -5XL, yellow text, tracking dash wide, oops, space in the middle. So we want to do uppercase because that's what we're going for. Italic or italic, padding of 36, max width extra large. That's our H1. And there we want to open our curly braces and put call to action. Oops. Action. Then we will close our heading tag. And then we will wrap all of that H1 in a div. So I'll put a div with a class equal to mx-auto max w screen-xl, and then we will wrap our div tag, our heading tag in that. We will save that, and then let's take a look at what that looks like in the browser. And here we are. So we have the get in touch today, nice padding, italics in the right color, and we have our background image. Now this can change, sorry, doing madness. This can change, you can change the background to anything you want. So now we need to do the yellow bar at the bottom with the address and contact details. Okay. So now let's make the second part of the footer, and we'll do a div with a class of yellow background, grid-cols-1 as a default, and the medium size will be, and up will be grid-cols-3. Be a 3-column grid layout, and we'll close that div tag. Oh, it's already closed, sorry. And now what we want to do is we want to map over the content we have here. So we're going to do open curly brace, content dot map brackets, oops, we've got another curly braces item, equal sign and greater than sign, and another bracket that says where we're going to put our div. So we've got a div slash div, okay, with, and we're going to give this one a class of padding 12 everywhere, all around, and then we're going to have a h1, and we're going to give this a class of uppercase text 2XL italic, and in between in that heading tag we're going to add the curly brace and say item dot heading. So we've got the heading, and now we're going to do a paragraph tag and add the curly braces item dot info and close those. And I'll just format this document to see if I've missed anything. I will save it, and it looks like I did miss a div after this one, so if we just do that and format the document again. So this div is open and it's closed, this div is open and closed, this div is open and closed. Okay, that's better. So we have everything ready. So now we'll switch over and we will go and see what this will result in the browser. So here we are in the browser, and as we can see, we have our 3-column layout: mailing address, email address, and phone number, the correct background, the correct italics. So everything is complete. So we've got the hero section, we've got the about section, the offer section, and as we can see, we made those in previous videos, testimonials, and finally the footer. So congratulations on making the entire landing page, and in the next tutorial video we will look at deploying this to Netlify. Okay, so this is the final section of the series where we're going to take our template and put it onto Netlify. The first thing we're going to want to do is open our GitHub account. So if you don't have an account, please sign up for one and create a new repository. I'm going to give it the name of Fitness Astro template, and the description is a Astro for template aimed at gyms and fitness website. Yeah, we're going to leave it public. I'm doing this so that you guys can get the source code. You could add a readme and a git ignore, but I'm just going to leave that as it is. And I'm going to create the repository. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is actually follow these instructions here, and we're going to do this in the Visual Studio Code. So let's do that now. So here we are back in Visual Studio Code, and everything is going to be in the terminal. And as you can see, we're inside the Fitness Astro landing folder. And the first thing we're going to do is going to say git init. So now it has created our git, and we're going to add git add readme. .md. Oh, sorry, git readme.md. Okay, so we've added a readme file, and just going to say git add, and then we're going to press the full stop, and it's going to add absolutely everything that we've done. And next we're going to say git commit -m, and in quotes we're going to say completed website. Press enter. So we're committing every single file and folder that it's needed in GitHub. Next we're going to choose our branch, so we're going to go git branch -m, -m, and capital M, and I'm going to say main. You could choose master, you could choose whatever you want, but I always go with main. Again, I'm just following the instructions from GitHub. And then in the GitHub, I'm going to copy the git remote add origin. So I'm going to paste that here. So it's adding everything, and it's going to basically sync the two. And once that's done, the last is git push -u origin, and obviously main is what we called it. So here we go. We'll push it up to our GitHub. And once it's complete, we will take a look at our github.com profile and see what we get. So here we are, and it has uploaded everything for us. It's even added this readme file with instructions on how to use Astro. You could always edit this in Visual Studio Code or even on here on GitHub to change it to your liking, but it is what we want, so we'll probably just change the title. You can basically click edit the readme.md. Instead of Astro Starter Kit, we'll call it Fitness Astro Starter, Astro template. And we can commit those changes and say commit, and there we go, Fitness Astro. We're actually going to go back in here and remove everything apart from the project structure. And we will leave, and we'll take the bottom bit out as well. Okay. So those instructions are you can add whatever you want to your readme, but that is basically, we want them to follow these kind of rules as well. And there you have it. So now everything is on GitHub. So now that we have a GitHub repository, we will need to use this in order to upload our content to Netlify, which we'll do now. Okay, so I am in my Netlify account, and I'm going to add a new site, and I'm going to import an existing project. So we're going to deploy with GitHub, and it should authorize and come back. And now it's going to look at all the projects in my GitHub, and we want to find the Fitness Astro template. We're going to use this one, and it's found the branch that deploys main and the build settings, and it has all the right information. Okay, so we want to make sure that the build command is npm run build or Astro build, and the publish directory is the dist folder here. Okay, if this was a server-side rendered site, obviously we'd need to add our environment variables here, but that's not what we do. So now we say deploy fitness Astro template. So once you've clicked deploy, you want to wait and let it build. It will give you a generated title here, but you can always change that afterwards. And if there's any issues with deployment, we'll see it, and then we will take care of it before deploying it again. So any changes that you make in your file will be uploaded here. Okay, so here we are. It's been deployed. There was no issues, everything was good. It's taken all our images, it's made it into an Astro file, index.html. So here is our web converted template. So everything that we made is now available on the website, on a website that you can share with the world, as they say. So you could promote it. Obviously you could add, change the information. Whatever you change will automatically get updated every time. I'm going to leave this template for you to play around with. It will be free, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial series, and I'll be creating more in the future. Please like and subscribe for more tutorial content on Astro. I'll be doing a Nuxt one as well, and Vue, etc. So stay tuned.